number 14. This is it from Happy Punch. Jake Paul is now officially ranked the number 14 cruiserweight in the world by the WBA and is eligible to challenge for the title against Julio Ramirez. He's ranked number 14. Hard picture right there. Let's save that. What is Wade's response? We've gone through the video already. We don't need to go through it again. Right? This is Wade's response. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. That is the first thing you say. That is the first thing you say. Here's the thing, guys. That is some stone cold hateration. Stone cold. Here's the thing, he says. That's the first thing. Of course, his reaction was Jake hit his peak. Jake just defeated a world champion in 10 rounds of boxing. A champion who was conserving his strength and wanted to unleash everything on him at the last minute. Jake was able to nullify him throughout. But this is his reaction. Here's the thing. Jake does not belong in the top 15 cruiserweight based on his resume. Why? 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 So this is the number 15. This is the former number 15, Craig Parker. Right? And this is Jake Paul. So 12-1, 20-0, 20 KOs. Right? So WBA has ranked Jake Paul higher than this guy. Right? According to BoxRec ranks this guy higher than Jake Paul. Right? BoxRec has him as number 6. BoxRec has Jake as number 8, American cruiserweight. Here we go. Now, let us look at Jake's record. We'll look at the wins, and then we'll look at the losses. So, this is all 0-0-0. The first 4 are zeros. 1 loss, 1 loss, 1 loss, 2 losses, 1 loss, 6-6. So this is 12 plus 4, 16, 18 losses. Jake resume. So he has, what did I just say? How many losses did I just say? He has, wait, where's Jake? Okay. So we have 1, 2, 5, 6, 18 losses, right? 18 losses. Let's see how many wins. Jake's wins, 104, 121, 131, 139, 142. So Jake's resume, guys, is 142 wins, 18 losses. That's Jake. 8 pay-per-views. That happens. That's important because we are all paying attention. We're all seeing these fights. These fights are in places that everybody can see, right? Miami, Staples Center, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, Amalie Arena in Tampa, Tyron Woodley, Ben Askren. These are people that people will watch. Anderson Silva, knocked down in round 8, professional record. Tommy Fury, brother of Tyson Fury. What else? Nate Diaz, Andre August, Ryan Borland. Look at the records of these people, please. Pay attention to the records. Mike Perry, fine, 0-1. That's okay. Mike Tyson, and then JC Chavez Jr., right? You can see how green the records look. Not that much red, although Mike Tyson. Now, let's look at this other person, Craig Parker. Let's count the losses first. This is 17, 19, 20, 30, 37, 40, 53, 71, 76, 85. No, 95, 98. Come on, I need a calculator now. 98 plus 32. 98 plus 32 should be 130. Jesus Christ. Okay, 131, 142, 146, 149. Guys, what are we doing here, guys? Craig Parker, 149 losses. The people he has fought have lost 149 times. So what are we doing here, guys? Let's look at the wins. Just to clear this up quickly. 3, 6, 10, 15, 21, 27, 29, 46, 49, 60, 66, 74, 97, 101, 115, 138, 146, right? So 146 wins and 149 losses. 0 pay-per-views. What that means is that people did not go to watch. He didn't get that media scrutiny of questions and events. This guy went to hidden places like San Vicente, Puerto Rico, Palomas to fight somebody and beat him in 55 seconds. He beat this guy in 33 seconds. This guy who has only had 1 fight, 1 loss. This guy has lost 9 times, beat him in 30 seconds. He beat this guy in 16 seconds in the first round. He has never gone beyond the second round in a fight. Right? And we saw him earlier in this show talking about legitimacy. 48 seconds in round number 1, 59 seconds in round number 1. Fighting people with red. This is blood. 6 straight losses, 6 straight losses, 4 losses, 4 losses, 3 losses, like recent losses. He fought someone with 32 losses, for God's sake. Please. So, we saw him earlier speaking to TMZ, talking about how Jake pushed him down in the rankings. But we can compare. We can compare what the record says. The record exists for a reason. So let's continue what Wade is saying. Based on his resume. His resume is better than Craig Parker. Jake's resume is better than Craig Parker with 8 pay-per-views and only 18 losses on the records. But neither do some other people in the top 15 in the WBA. Okay! So, wait. So, there are other people in the top 15 in the WBA who do not deserve to be in the top 15. But you won't mention those people by name. You would only mention Jake Paul's name the minute he gets ranked number 14 in the world. Why? Why? That's the problem here. That is the question here. The question is why. Why is it only when Jake does it that he gets the scrutiny? Why? Let's continue. Guys like Vidal Riley being nowhere on the WBA's list shows you sanctioning body rankings are very subjective. This is weird, Mr. Objective. We saw what he did. We saw what he's been doing. None of this is objective, other than when he met Jake for the first time. But he's been saying all kinds of subjective things about Jake for basically 50% of his YouTube career. So, okay. Cruiserweight is a pretty empty weight class. No lie. We've seen the list. The weight class is empty. He's not wrong. Wade is not wrong. The weight class is empty. Okay, if it's empty, and it is empty, what is the problem with it being empty and therefore Jake has been able to take his space? Because as I said, if you say based on the resume, this is a resume. Jake has a superior resume to Craig Parker because he has 8 pay-per-views, 18 losses, 142 wins. His resume is not better than Craig Parker. It is superior to Craig Parker's. And he says the cruiserweight is pretty empty. Correct. The first time anybody in America, in the world, looked at the cruiserweight rankings of the WBA was the day Jake Paul got ranked number 14 in the world. That was the first time anybody bothered to fucking look. That was the first time anybody bothered to look. You cannot stop any boxing fan. Go onto your street today. Meet any boxing fan. Ask him to name 15 cruiserweights and see if he can name 6 people here. See if he will name 6 people here. Nobody knows who these people are. People started mentioning Julio Ramirez's name, the champion, when he started to fight on Jake's undercard. That was the first time his name came into the mainstream. Once Jake takes his belt in November, we will not mention his name again. The point, guys, is that Wade is not wrong. The cruiserweight is empty. If it's empty, what's wrong with Jake being there? If it's empty, what is wrong with Jake being in an empty weight class? Why is it something that needs you to come out and qualify and say he doesn't belong there? Who are you to say Jake doesn't belong somewhere? Were you there when he was working hard and taking the punches, taking the beating? Were you there to console him when he lost to Tommy Fury and we all thought his career was over? Were you there when KSI almost beat, or allegedly, or thought he beat Tommy Fury and was ready to run away and rub it on Jake's face for the rest of his life? Have you dealt with the pressure? So you've not dealt with the pressure of running a business, being a boxer, setting up promotions, promoting women's boxing, and fighting yourself and accumulating this sort of record. You've not dealt with that pressure. Then you come out and say he doesn't belong there. Who the fuck are you, sir? You're not the WBA. You're not the WBO. So why are you concerned? So I don't understand this sense of entitlement that people have to say Jake doesn't belong there. So who belongs there? He doesn't have any names other than this next person called Vidal Riley. Now, let's look at the person whom he suggests should be in the in the top 15. This is Vidal Riley. He is 27, younger than Jake Paul. 13 bouts, same number of bouts as Jake. 0-1. So losses, right? There's the losses first. 15, 22, 27, 20, 30. Yeah. 30, 34, 35. 35 losses. That's not bad. That's good, actually. So Vidal. So 32 losses. 84, 94. So Vidal has 94 wins and 34 losses on his resume. And 0 pay-per-views. Because boxing is a business. In case we forgot. In case everybody forgets, boxing is not just a sport, it's also a business, especially at this level. It's not just enough for you to go to Culiacan or to Chihuahua or Guadalajara and pay Mexican drug dealers who are owing cartels money to get knocked the fuck out in 30 seconds. Like this guy did, it's not enough. You actually have to put on a show, get promoters, get judges, get actual legitimate people who are recognized in the sport, put on a pay-per-view and do well under that pressure. Vidal, I don't think he has done these things. I'm not sure how many pay-per-views he has headlined. I count 0 because here he's been under all sorts of people, like the Eubank, which was very nice. So he hasn't done it. He doesn't have a comparable resume to Jake Paul. Jake has less losses on his record than Vidal and has more wins. You see, Jake has less losses and more wins and infinitely more pay-per-views than Vidal and Craig Parker. So if we're being objective, we have the record in front of us, we look at the resume as well, Jake should be higher still than Craig Parker and Vidal. Okay. And Jake's ranking, so cruiserweight is a pretty empty weight class, and Jake's ranking shows that they are desperate. We'll put the desperate in capital. Oh, the WBA is desperate. That's why Jake is being given a platform. Jake is being rewarded with a platform because they're desperate. But didn't Jake give you a platform to work with The Zone, to work with MVP, to work with even the Ring magazine, even a platform to grow your YouTube channel? Your videos on Jake Paul do more than your other videos, do they not? These are things we can document. Jake Paul feeds these people. Without Jake, these people wouldn't be here. So how can you turn around to say that Jake doesn't deserve to be in the top 50? Look at this. These are Wade's recent videos. 9.5K. You did 9.5K on a Ring magazine. Turkey Al-Sheikh has your phone number. Call your phone number. He's behind you 1000%. He's promoting you. You are interviewing these very good fighters that are better than Jake Paul, allegedly. You're only doing 9,000 views. You're only doing 10,000 views. But you come online to talk about Jake Paul's performance and you say his performance is bad or average or whatever, and you get 130,000 views. Jake Paul is feeding you, sir. This is Canelo. Look. You Ring magazine, Canelo, Turkey Al-Sheikh, 38K. Jake, 130,000 views. That is the Jake Paul effect. So how can you say that cruiserweight is a pretty M weight class and Jake's ranking shows that they are desperate to have people talking about the weight class and their belts? Does Jake deserve a top 15 based on his resume? No. We just proved that that's a lie. He does deserve anybody that is not named Jake Paul with 8 pay-per-views, 142 career wins on the resume, 118 losses. Anybody who is not named Jake Paul will be ranked in the top 15. That's a fact. With 8 pay-per-views, you will be ranked. What are you saying? Does Jake deserve top 15 sport based on the resume? No. But the rankings have always been more business than sport. Tell us who you would have. You just said that the cruiserweight division is an empty weight class, meaning that you don't have anybody other than Vidal to propose. So you want a top 15 of just 2 people or just 1 person, just Vidal. You couldn't even name another cruiserweight to fill up your ranking. You can't. But because Jake is there, it's a problem. Oh, it's a desperation. Oh, it's a problem. It worries me and it sickens me how much people hate this boy. It sickens me out. I wonder why. Let's go downstairs. He crashed out on me. So I said, this is cold-hearted hateration from Wade. Let me zoom in. What is the business of number 13, Giovanni Scuderi, in the top 15? Which is true. Everybody whom I asked, said Giovanni Christian Scuderi sucks. He shouldn't be in the top 15. But he's right there above Jake Paul. Who has he fought? Nobody. Has anybody seen him fight? No. Nobody cares. Wade paradoxically mentions that the cruiserweight is empty. So if he can't name 14 cruiserweights better than Jake, why is there any hatred? Jake beats at least 8 guys in the top 15. Vidal Riley wins. Let's see if my math is correct. Okay, I had 94 wins, but it's actually 97, whatever. 142 wins, I got that correct. Jake ranked higher than Vidal is a mathematical and objective fact. Vidal is your boy, Master Wade, hence your feelings. And Wade, shut your dumb ass up. Oof, that was painful. That was painful. So I said, the more things change, the more they say the same. Correct. So let's see what else we said. You can't flee from the truth. I only respond to lies that I see. ETC, blah, blah, blah. Jake Paul, yeah. Number 8 American cruiserweight in the world. Cry about it. Cry. So, JC Chavez's resume, 500 plus biologics, has got to be ranked above Jake. Well, he's been losing, and I said the logic ranks Jake above Vidal, and I'm right. The logic of the resume, you said resume, and I said Jake has a better resume than Vidal. There's no doubt about this. Nobody can doubt this. JC Chavez fought 11 times in 2004. He fought January, February, March, April, May, June, July, September, October, November, December. He did not just fight in August. He fought 11 people in 12 months. In less than 12 months. Does that count? Are you going to weigh that? Jake is putting on 8 pay-per-views in 5 years. For God's sake. Why do people lose their marbles? Why do they lose their senses when it comes to this boy? People they forget how to think. He crashes out, he tries to insult my intelligence, says I'm a dumbass. It's unfortunate. I will never have anything personal against Wade. I don't know the man. So him calling me a dumbass, I know it's just an emotional reaction. I watched his show. That's why I'm able to call him out on this bullshit. I'm able to call him out because it seems like the gap between Wade admitting that he actually likes Jake Paul. Where was it? That he met Jake Paul and he likes Jake Paul. The gap between those two events has been about a few years.
Very nice, Jake. I like you.
Facts. Jake is he's not. I don't care what you guys say about behind the scenes. He's so good.
He was very generous. He was very nice, Jake. I like you.
Fact.
Right? So the gap between him meeting Jake and liking Jake and now where he's saying that Jake doesn't deserve to be in the top 15 is about 3 years. That's enough time for your true feelings about somebody to come out. That's enough time, I think. But using words like they're desperate, what's the word? Deserve. Nobody has the right to say what another person deserves or doesn't deserve. Because there are people who maybe even work harder than Wade or Jake and are not where they quote unquote deserve to be. But nobody can deny the work that Jake has put in. Wade too is someone who I know has put in a lot of work. Imagine somebody who hears that Wade got a job with Ring Magazine and says Wade doesn't deserve to be working for the Ring Magazine. Nobody would ever say that. The only thing we all said when Wade with WadePlem has been getting all these jobs with MVP, with The Zone, with Misfits is congrats. Because we saw his trajectory, we see him moving up in the world. And that's all we've done. So we congratulate him. But the minute Jake moves up in the world to number 14, he has to come out with some technicalities and some qualifications and say that the WBA is desperate. WBA has been around for over 50 years. Desperate for what? So I find this to be terribly sad and horribly disappointing. But I mean, he crashed out. It's fine. Crashing out is normal. But to crash out because of Jake, come on. At this stage, you already said you liked him. So what's the problem? Why are you crashing out over someone you like moving up in the world?
He was very generous. He was very nice, Jake. I like you.
Facts. Jake is still the problem.
So that being said, that's Wade's reaction. Let's move on now to one Mr. True Geordie. Honestly, I don't even think I can look at True Geordie because it's difficult for me to watch True Geordie. But I'll leave it on Wade. I think Wade is more relevant to the point, and I cannot weigh True Geordie's opinion because Wade's opinion is much heavier than True Geordie's. Wade is far more intelligent, far more eloquent, far more enlightened and knowledgeable on the subject of boxing than True Geordie. So I would take this as the industry standard response to what Jake has accomplished, which I think is highly unfair and just the only word I can find is hatred. Where is it coming from? So my advice to everybody is learn to congratulate people when good things happen to them. Don't ever in your life say that somebody does not deserve something. This sentence here is what made me make this video. This sentence here. The reason why this sentence is bad and poisonous and dangerous is because He cannot even name somebody who is better than Jake to take that spot. He can't. He just feels it in his heart that someone like Jake, someone of Jake's background, someone of Jake's knowledge and his efforts and everything that he's done does not deserve to be in the top 15 spot. Who are you to say this? Where is this lack of humility coming from? I find it scary. Scary. The arrogance is scary. For someone to say Jake does not deserve. Fuck off with that shit. My lesson to everyone is never ever come out to say that somebody else doesn't deserve something, because trust me, as you say that, someone could say those words about you. Someone could say those words about you. And when someone says those words about you, they will hurt way more than they would when you say those words about Jake. I can tell you that for a fact. You can choose to like or dislike certain creators, but you can never come out to say they don't deserve success. What? So that's the lesson here, guys. Please never copy or emulate this type of behavior to say that someone doesn't deserve something. The only thing you do when others do the things that you've not been able to do is to congratulate them, not to say they don't deserve it. What? Guys, I'm done. Leave a like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Out. Fuck.
After centuries of sleep, of nothingness, I have returned. Something comes back to me. I was great once. Feared. Yes. Once I was strong. Powerful beyond measure, beyond imagining. So weak now, must find blood.
The best guy at synthesizing this stuff, because he's just been hitting these things out of the park.